Season's greetings to all our viewers all across the globe. Thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, tonight on the show, we will be talking table tennis. We will be looking at football on the domestic scene. We'll travel abroad. Talk about the English Premier League, the crisis that never ends. Manchester United, Ruben Amorim in the hot seat. We'll talk about all of that, all for you on the show today. We'll also try to throw in the girls. Wafu B on the 17. Just concluded championship. So that's the outlook of the show. Thanks for joining us. It's a two-man show. My colleague Austin Okona-Akpan is suited and ready as we take you along on this ride.
What a great things to be me and our viewers joining us from different parts of the world. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And I want to join me to say compliments of the season. Merry Christmas. I can feel it already. You go outside and see all of the lights, the decorations, and you know why this period is one that we should cherish and relish when it's gone. That's it. So much going on in our world of sports. Action-packed all the time. So much to talk about in the English Premier League. We cannot wait for the Boxing Day fixtures to come because some way, somehow, that fixture has a way to determine the outlook of the season. So people are asking a lot of questions. Can Liverpool keep it going? Can Everton add to the woes of Manchester City? Can Arsenal prove that they can compete for the league title? Questions that will be answered after the fixtures on Boxing Day will be played. In the Nigeria Premier Football League, what a story. Match day 19 already. And if you take a look at what happened on match day 18, you could tell that certain teams are beginning to say, look, it's like we can compete for the league title. Shooting Stars, now 4 straight wins for the Oluyole Warriors. Coach Gbenga Ogumbote's team, they are staying focused and ticking the right boxes. Yes, Aqua United picked up a win, but are still swimming in the relegation zone. You talked about the under-17 Wafu. I like that one so much. It's for developmental purposes. So shout out to the young girls that represented Nigeria. The Chan Eagles, they have an important fixture against Ghana on Saturday. Now, after going away to play goalless, Yemi, they need to crown the job by ensuring that they beat Ghana on Saturday.
All right, let's hope they do. Let's quickly introduce our guest in the Lagos studio. Kehinde Idris joins us now. And Kehinde, greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us this lovely Tuesday evening. What a good day to talk sports.
Yeah, what a good day. Good to be here and joining everybody around the world. And, also, Austin, it's a compliment of the season. Merry Christmas in advance, or probably you could say Merry Christmas. I think it's already here. You can't tell anybody now that it's not Christmas. So feels good.
It's already Christmas in some parts of the world.
And then you're ushering people in through, the best of sports. It's exciting. And I'm seeing table tennis on the go, not just table tennis, developmental table tennis, because it's talking about the youth. And yes, if you don't tap them now, there is no way you can tap them. I can remember the Mustafa brothers, continue to grow. And there is a man on the menu who I'll probably see the interview and it all show there. I said it time and time again, before getting all this portfolio, this man, without having any office that has to do with table tennis, even as much as we know he's an enthusiast, has a one-on-one relationship with all of the tennis players in Nigeria, whether at the youth level, at the professional level. They love him because he never waits for any position. He goes with his love for table tennis and, gets to help every table tennis player. So I'm looking forward to the discussion on table tennis.
Yeah, let me allow us to do the honors. Table tennis in Nigeria, and we're looking forward to some big things happening. And some of the key stakeholders too have been speaking. And it's interesting these days. The power of sports, we talked about it so many times. We're seeing these pictures. I hope we continue to see more. Austin, what's your take on some of the things we're about to listen to? Table tennis is a sport that has given us so much, but we also know more can be achieved.
That's right. And part of the more that must be achieved is to develop younger talents. We grew up hearing about Atom Damusa, and then there was Segun Toriola, And now we're talking about Aaron Okwadri is getting tired. We must find somebody to take it over. And it's good to see Ayola up there after beating Abdul Fattah, after beating Kuti to become the winner of the NTTF Daniel Ford Table Tennis Championship. And it's good, Yemi. It's for the under-19s. It means it's developmental. And it's so good because Matthew Kuti has gotten us talking, I think, in the last 3-4 years. Yeah. Seeing a new champ shows that there is so much talent, so much talent in that environment that we must bring out. So shout out to Yemi Edu and his team at Daniel Ford for sponsoring this one, for looking at table tennis and saying, look, we can do more. And Yemi, I remember one time on the show we said it, that it was the same system that we had back in the day that destroyed street table tennis. Yemi, for instance, said he grew up in Surulere and that he liked the revolution around street table tennis, but somehow it went down. But now with this sort of competition, this is the second edition, by the way. Let's imagine it keeps it going for 10 years. Some of the names that we're hearing now will definitely get onto bigger things. For instance, we have been shouting at Taiwo Mati. We've been shouting, most of the players are representing the country now. They came out of the Asuju Table Tennis, championship. So the likes of Bode and Aaron Okwadri have gone through all of those processes. So it's all about building. That's what is important. So let's key into this, get more private partnership, strategic ones, and keep it going. Let's listen to some of those things you talked about, particularly that we're not just only talking now, we can see action, and we must keep it going with proper monitoring. You just don't nurture them. You develop them towards becoming future champions.
I'm particularly excited with the performances of these young talents. I mean, that shows very well that there's so much power coming together, private sector and public sector, in identifying talents and nurturing them to become professionals. We have seen many of these people through their journey where they were still trying to get their way with the sports, and we have seen what they have become now in the leagues that they are playing. We have seen people of under 15, and we have seen young people of under 19. I mean, this is really, really great. Some of them have started representing the state. Some of them have started representing Nigeria within tournaments in the country and, across the continent. That is the process that we want to take in terms of sport development and growth, in Nigeria, particularly in Lagos State. I mean, it shows the role private sector can play in supporting what the government is doing in different areas of development, particularly, in sport. And as we all know, sports is actually a common denominator. We have seen people from private schools and public school coming together to play, and we have seen young people, regular young people on the streets of Lagos who ordinarily, if they have not been attracted by sports, they will have been distracted by, other vices within the society.
So I appeal to others to do what Yemi Edu is doing. He's looking back, he's giving back, and he's appreciative of his country. So it's not enough to be successful. Success is about touching lives. He has touched many lives, and apart from that, the program was very, very exciting. And you can see the lives of these young sports enthusiasts will never be the same again.
And I completely agree with everything that they've talked about. We need private investment into the development of table tennis in Nigeria. Let's talk about the boys, Abdul Fattah, Kehinde Idris. Should we call it an upset because they fought back to beat Matthew Kuti? Is that a testament that we've got more talents that we need to discover at this level?
Some who are most definitely fans of Kuti, which I am definitely one of them because of what he had done, especially in recent years, would say that was a very sad story for such a good player. But for the country, the more the merrier. Now we're talking about Fatai, but most definitely, the talent of Kuti has not gone anywhere. Trust me, if that match is to be played again tomorrow, probably it would have swung in the way of Kuti. But competition brings out the best in both. Can remember, during his farewell, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, talking about how this one pushed the other to being better, the other pushed the other to being better. And that's what you get when you create a platform for people to continue to express their innate talent, and then they continue to push each other. Trust me, if they continue like this, with so many other names we've mentioned, in another 5 years, we'll be talking about friends who are just happy to continue to push each other to bigger glory. Hey, Africa is there to be conquered. The world is there to be conquered. So for Nigeria, it's a big win-win. And congratulations to Fatai, but I want to continue to see, more of this. Like I've said, during my opening, if you don't tap into the youth, then what do you want to tap into? If Nigeria continues to do this, we'll be talking about bigger glory. We've celebrated Quadri so
we'll
many
have
years.
more.
I think we could have
celebrate.
more.
Well, in a similar vein, you've seen his face in some of the clips that we've just shown you. African table tennis president talking about Waheed Enitan Oshodi is anticipating a big and remarkable event when Nigeria hosts the ITTF Africa Youth Championship next year in Lagos. Oshodi believes that the event will help young players play against the best on the continent in July, while assuring that the current board will focus more on training coaches and supporting players to attend international competitions. Let's quickly listen to the president of the African Table Tennis Federation, Waheed Enitan Oshodi. We'll come back to talk some more on table tennis.
We need to do a lot more. We need to find the money to do big tournaments, to do leagues, to do all the things that can help them improve. Now it's time for them to travel out and play. You can't continue playing each other and get better. So the World Tour events all over Africa now, Africa Table Tennis Federation will be seeing how we can assist players, not just from Nigeria, the best young players on the continent to come. But more importantly, there's the African Youth Championships for the first time in Nigeria in July. We want to have a big event here. We need our players to see the best young players playing here in Lagos. The atmosphere here in Lagos will help. There's a lot more we can do to help these players. One of them is with this tournament, now we not only bring the best players here, we bring the eyes of ITTF here to see how we organize. And we've been doing this for many years now. But again, as media always reminds me, there's still little things we can do to make it better.
All right, so that's Waheed Enitan Oshodi. All right, let's I'll talk about some other things. I'm trying to get the words out of my mouth because the next thing I want to say is an incident that wasn't pleasing at all. Sports administrators and journalists have described the death of former director of communications of the Nigeria Women's Football League, Dapo Sotiminu, as a huge void that will be hard to fill in the industry. I mean, Dapo Sotiminu is somebody that needs little or no introduction if you have anything to do with sports in Nigeria. Sotiminu died in Lagos on November 20 after a brief illness and was buried in Lagos on Monday, December 23rd, after a candlelight procession service of song at the National Stadium. And pictures from that event is what you have on your screen. I mean, the picture tells the story. I mean, the who is who in the sports industry came to pay their last respects to the man. Sotiminu worked in several print media, including New Telegraph newspapers, as deputy editor, and also served as media director of the Lagos City Marathon. Let's take some reactions from this, and we'll come back to talk some more.
Dapo was a professional to the core. Like when you're talking journalism, beyond sports journalism, when you're talking journalism, Dapo Sotiminu is an icon. When you're talking about organization, when it comes to putting things together, it's not a surprise that there were so many boards that he was working with and working on, you know. There is hardly any top sporting event in Nigeria and Lagos that would not have Dapo in the mix. He would be there because they know he's an asset.
Dapo was a man for everybody. Dapo was a man of many parts. He was a friend, he was a brother, a person that jumps to your side is Dapo. I'm sure you also have an experience of that, where the issue of Swan, Dapo is always there.
His counsel, his friendship, his dedication to duty, his good heart, his love for fellow human beings, his selflessness. There can never be another kind like Dapo. When God says we should love our neighbors like we love ourselves, that was what Dapo exemplified.
His doggedness for making sure sport, especially football, most especially female football, thrive. Personally, I will miss that. I will miss his writings. I will miss his objectivities. And I will miss him personally as a gentleman. Dapo is all about doing it right.
Dapo was a very gentleman who was very professional in everything he did with regards to sports. On a personal note,
All right, the tributes speak for themselves. Again, we pray God will grant the family fortitude to bear this this loss. All right. I mean, let me allow Austin to say a few words that will continue. Of course, that way somebody will know and, someone will regard as a friend of the family. So, Austin, a few words on that and we move on.
It's a painful loss. I wrote shock when I heard the news. I remember my last encounter with Dapo, that's what I call him, and he calls me Fire Austin. That he likes the way I don't, look at faces when I want to change and speak truth to power on this show. And we just talked about sports generally in Nigeria and how we wish, we can do the right things and bring about the change. And that was what Dapo stood for, And he had a way to make the small things look big, And if you check what he did with women's football in Nigeria, you want to give him his flowers big time. You see Bukola Olopade struggling to talk about the things that God did for the Lagos City Marathon, and he's just someone, as Tony said, that you can call and he would just, get up and see ways that he could help, Life is so transient, and I pray that God will grant his family the fortitude to bear this loss. We'll miss Dapo. He was someone I could call a friend, particularly a friend who truly believes that the right thing should be done. So let me join everyone to say God bless his soul till we meet to part no more.
All right, so let's move on. I talk about the WAFU B Under 17 final. Nigeria lost to a country I would rather us not lose to. But again, there's a chance to get a pound of flesh back. Kenny, before we go on a break, let's just quickly talk about that result. Yeah. We lost, but in the words of the coach, which is what I like, it's developmental. Yeah. And this gives us the chance to unearth talent. Yeah. And I hope they can keep it up, keep the competition going. Yeah.
They lost to USA at the World Cup, almost the same crop, just a few changes there and there. They came to the WAFU B. We thought it was going to be a rollover, against teams because of what they did at the World Cup. But like the coach had alluded to or had pointed at, and we all should allude to, is the fact that at this level, yes, we want to win. See, naturally, every human wants to win. Okay.
Kenny, let me just pause you a little. Yeah. We were talking about the significance of the 17. Yeah. I jokingly said I would have preferred that we didn't lose to Ghana, but it is what it is. Yeah. But I just like the concept. Yeah. And I hope it keeps going.
Yeah, that is where I was going, before I went on that break, that naturally, every competition you enter as humans, set up a team, a coach, you want to win. There is a feeling winning gives you. Yeah. But more importantly than winning, at this level, it should be that you're discovering something for the bigger picture, which is that period where there is no more age limit. They just continue to grow. The moment Ajibade, at a young age, entered the Super Falcons, look at how long ago, and she's still with the Super Falcons. That is where you're building for. Yes, you want to win at under 17, at under 20 level, but always put at the back of your mind the bigger picture that these ladies, these young boys, these young girls grow into being a proper professional who will give laurels, who will give winnings to the team.
Which should be the main aim.
So losing to Ghana is painful, but have we taken anything of that? I saw it at the World Cup after losing to USA, some names recalled after for the Wafubi, like Harmony, so many Obrute, so Ogenekaro, a lot of names. That means there is something about these names already that have been looked at. Now after the Wafubi, there will be some that will continue to be there. And like you said off camera, it helps transition. The under 20 is still there.
Just there.
In some probably months, some will clock 17, they will become 18. Go into the under 20, and then we talk about
our viewers have seen the clips, but then again, it's also good to let them see what actually transpires. So I'll go across now, and before I yield to Austin, just to show you what happened. They denied Nigeria the chance to win the inaugural edition of the tournament, and like I said, I hope it continues, and I hope we meet again somehow, someday. At the end of regulation time, it was 2-2, and Ghana, because both teams couldn't be separated, so Ghana had to win 5-4 on penalties, and so that's what happened. And you could see the Ghanaian girls celebrating, because any victory over Nigeria is well celebrated in Ghana. But Austin has pointed us in the direction. There's another meeting with Ghana, even though it's for the guys, and hopefully we'll nick that one, because there's no way you talk about this and you don't want to talk about that one. So, Austin, I don't feel anyhow, maybe just because it's Ghana, I don't feel anyhow. I just feel, I hope that this tournament, that's the feeling I have, that look, just keep this thing going. It's a good thing. It helps transition. In a few months, we'll be talking about the under 20. This helps. Usually when a major tournament finishes, they disband the team. This ensures that even if they qualify for the World Cup, they play the World Cup, and the tournament comes after the World Cup, the coach, the crew, the players will still have to be together, and surely Nigeria can benefit from that.
That's right, Yemi. And I want to pass a very, sincere, should I call it counsel? Yeah, let me say it's a counsel to sports administrators, football administrators in West Africa. Use this Wafu B to build a conscience against age cheats. Look at what they are doing in East Africa now. Look at what they're doing in Central Africa. Look at what they've done in North Africa. Use this under 17 level for Wafu B to say to yourselves, it's not win at all costs. Let's use this one to develop football in West Africa. That is what we should be preaching to these guys. And I like the fact that people are only just saying, Ghana won. No, the Nigerian girls fought. They considered the first goal in the 13th minute, considered the second goal in the 19th minute. So 2 early goals. And then they started fighting. And they leveled up and lost 5-4 on penalties. Now, that in itself is a story of resilience. It's a story of fighting back. It's a story of not giving up. So if we are sincere that, okay, we will use football at this level to fight that canker worm called age cheat, so that if we genuinely get girls that are under the age of 15 to 17 to play Wafu B, in 3 years' time, they would have gotten about 5 years football experience, practical at the international level, to go into under 20. Look at the longevity that Kennedy mentioned about Rashidat. Look how she's enjoying, because she genuinely started young. I know Rashidat very properly from FC Robo and how she started. I knew Chiamaka Nadozie and how she started. Look at them now with their career. So this is a good one. Hopefully it's not going to be one-off. The Wafu, I like things that they're doing, and I like that Nigeria too now. We're beginning to see that yes, at that level, we can actually be competitive because the rest of the world now. I met an agent, so just quick one for a wrap up. And he was telling me how he's struggling to get 19-year-olds into clubs now in Europe because they are going after, if you have not played proper academy football from when you were 7-year-old to play football now will be very hard. So look at the scientific side of football where we are going in the next 10 years. If Africa, if we are not true to ourselves with sincerity, conscience, we'll struggle with world football.
I agree with you. I agree. All right, let's move on. We have a lot lined up for you on the show. Let's go to the Nigeria Premier Football League. Take a look at what happened over the weekend and what to look forward to. Let's take a look at matchday 18 results, which is our next sport of call. I'm very sure we'll get it for you on the screen. While we're trying to put our ducks in a row, let me go to Kennedy quickly. And I know Austin talked about 3SC. That result, did it surprise you? Where it came from?
Yeah.
Did you think it could? I don't.
Away we.
Especially against the Flying Antelopes, no.
Yes, I never saw that coming, trust me. But if you look at precedents build up to that game, they've been in fine form. Then also, the coach had complained severally at away toughs. He complained in Ikorodu. I think he complained at Remo, saying, if you want to play football, play football. Why play football? And I, because I'm an away team, would have to start looking at my back, to get results. And if you go back to his first season, Finidi George, how he complained and complained and complained, how Enyimba was getting, not fair treatments away. And in the following season, probably referees started checking, match commissioners started taking note of Enyimba games, and they won the league that season. Maybe because of the noise Benga Gumbota had made, the oracle. Now, proper checks. Let's do things the right way in their games. So and that was what that was what got that team. And it was a fantastic one. See, Shooting Stars are one of those teams that can play good football, season in, season out. But they always fall short. Benga Gobota is a seasoned coach. All right. And if you bring the two together, I think fantastic. Also, Kano Pillars with Ahmed Musa getting that winning goal. I think that's another story for the weekend. Right. The NPFL, if all things are being put in check, I think it's a fantastic league that the entire world should be talking about.
It is. If our administrators don't shoot us in the leg, all right? Pun intended, actually. All right, let's quickly look at the results. KD referenced it, and Kano Pillars beating Niger Tornadoes 2-1. Sunshine Stars, their Korea Gunners, slim 1-0 victory over El Kanami Warriors. Bedell Insurance defeated Low Beach Stars. Kwara United had a 1-0 victory over Katsina United. Nasarawa United pulled a 1-0 draw with Rivers United. These are some of the matches. And, of course, the game we're referencing, Rangers International losing at home to 3SC. Abia Warriors defeated the Ikorodu City 2-0. Remo Stars beat Bayelsa United 2-0. Aqua United, the Promise Keepers, beating the Naze Millionaires 2-0. Then on Thursday, Boxing Day, there will be a game. Let's quickly take that out of the way. On Boxing Day, Thursday fixture, Plateau United will take on Enyimba. Enyimba has a bit of a backlog to clear out, and so they're going to be playing on Thursday. And they had better start winning if they want to return to the continent, because what is happening on the continent doesn't look good at this moment. And so, Austin, your thoughts. Standout result had to be that 3SC. KD had already talked about it, but I don't know if you have any other fixtures that easily jump to it. Most of the home teams, 1-0 victory here and there, 1 or 2 draws, but the 3SC results really jumps at you. What other games were of significance to you?
I think Rivers United, they needed to stay relevant on the league table, and they did just that, going to Lafia to play 1-1 with Nasarawa United. And that's why if you check, they're still tied on the same points with Remo Stars, but I think goes for Remo Stars leads. That's why they're on top of the table. But for competition's sake, it's very important what Rivers United did with that fixture. Was I surprised with what was happening with Shooting Stars? No, I'm not. I'll tell you why. You see, I looked at their last game, and the way they are composed now playing, and the tactical discipline Coach Benga Ogumbote has brought into this team. I wish we have pictures. We'll count it together. Before Ikowem Utin scored that goal, they touched the ball 17 times. 17 times without Rangers knowing what's going on. They were in control of it, and they didn't just know that it was a left fullback that was coming with a shot that will get into the net. So they stunned the Flying Antelopes right there at the Cathedral. 4 straight wins for Shooting Stars, their second away win of the season. Now that's a team that is trying to say if we end this stanza strongly, we can do something in the second. Remember, Yemi, they were really pretty decent towards the end of last season. So I'm sure that was the vital lesson that they took into this season. So shout out to Shooting Stars. They're not just winning, they're scoring stunners. Go and check all the goals they scored. Look at what Mustafa Adams did on matchday 17 with that free kick. Look at how they humbled El Kanemi Warriors when they were having that brilliant run. So definitely Shooting Stars up to something good with their season. But by the way, Rangers had labored so hard in that their away game at Katsina United. That game ended goalless. And I said to myself, up next for these people is 3SC. And they don't have enough time to rest, then there might be a shocker. And here we are talking about a shocker. Another important result, we showed it, we'll say it again, Remo Stars. People will say, you expect Remo Stars to just go on to win Bielsa United. Yes, they won 2-0. But that was a Bielsa United team that was unbeaten in their last 4 matches. So that was a crucial test for Remo Stars, and they did pass it. Now, Aqua United needed to win, and they did just that against Heartland. Heartland also pretty much decent, and you could look at this and say it was going to be very hard. But Aqua United did a job, first goal from the penalty spot, and then Chijoke Olekwe has been on top form for the Promise Keepers with a vital second goal, beautiful header to end Aqua United 2, Heartland 0. So that's the NPFL. Got all of us talking. Kende Idris mentioned Canopilla, so I don't want to get into that. Ahmed Musa still proving points with this team, and scoring that late goal was just all they need to get that win. So we'll wait to see what match the 19 will give us.
Yeah, we'll wait. But while we're waiting, let's see what the table looks like now. And there you have it. And I see why. I mean, it's easy to see what Austin was saying with Rivers United getting that draw, because the pendulum keeps swinging to and fro. Remo Stars play at home, they're back on top. Rivers play at home, and leveling with Remo Stars helps, and they go away, they play, and something happens. All right, so Remo Stars on top, 33 points, followed by Rivers United, same number of points. Shooting Stars, 30 points. Rangers International, 28. By the way, they've all played the same number of games, and we're approaching the halfway stage. Just one more game, and we'll be right there. Bottom 4, let's see what the bottom 4, and it's very critical because anything could still happen. You have Nassau United 17 matches, Plateau United 17 matches. What happens if Plateau United beats Eibar on Thursday? It means Aqua United are going further down. What happens if Nassau United, play some of their backlog? But it's interesting. Nothing much separates the 4 teams: Aqua United, Nassau United, Lobby Stars, Plateau United, in descending order. That's what it is. All right, let's move swiftly to where Austin is and talk about the English Premier League. Let's look at the fixtures and talk about, the talk has been around Pep Guardiola, a lot of things happening, but let's give the man a break. Let's talk about everybody and stop talking about Pep Guardiola alone. All right, so Manchester City, just a coincidence. It's the first game we're talking about. Manchester City, Everton, Boxing Day fixtures. Manchester City, Everton, Bournemouth against Crystal Palace, Chelsea up against Fulham, Newcastle United up against Aston Villa. These matches will be played on Thursday, the Boxing Day fixtures of the English Premier League. Interesting. All right, man in the eye of the storm, Pep Guardiola. Let's quickly listen to him as he prepares his team for this game against Everton. Then we come back to look at all the issues raised, of course, in his pre-match conference.
It's about us. It's about not just one player. So when in the past we scored goals and Evan was so prolific in helping us, it's because of the team. And when you have problems at back, in the middle, it's for everyone. It's a team. It's not about one player. It would be easy. If it was just one player, the reason why, it would be easy. It's not about that. So Erling is so important for us, will be so important for us, have been, and try to do the things better, to use him better. All the time they say, because we don't run, because we don't fight, the reason why is this one, this situation, or this player, or this manager, or this. It's not about that. It's many little details or big details that make all together not as good as we were. But we have another opportunity in the Boxing Day to try and win time for the players come back, and in certain time will be better.
Wow, Pep Guardiola. I don't know what to say. Fixture congestion. This. I don't know. Okay, before we go to Austin, who probably knows a few things we do not know because he's where everything is happening. He's been trying to stay calm, but he looks a bit ruffled.
He's not been calm. As much as you said we should spare Man City some break, but I'm surprised discussing Man City.
I mean,
they grab the headlines
all the time.
So you cannot blame any sporting setup show who talks about Man City. They're a big club. History makers, they are just a classy team. Like Peter Drury will say, our fine champion. They were fine champion, for the season they did that. Come this season, they were favorite. And then first 6 games, it was looking like, Man City will go all the way again until trouble started in paradise. And now, you cannot understand, you cannot even place your hands. The kind of problems they are going through. Nobody saw Man City going through trouble that they will go 10 games, without winning a particular. So it's been funny. And for Pep Guardiola, we saw a time where he had, cords all over his head with a lot of different stories. He keep talking about, return, let my players get back. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of, issues on the table of Man City. But I feel like we all know in the sport journalism setup that 70% of the results you see on the field has actually happened before match day. Maybe the issues in the dressing room, in the administrative office, in the boardroom.
Those charges.
Yes.
Maybe he's playing on their mind.
I can remember last season, Massimiliano Allegri kept saying it time and time again to the Juventus player, do not let the problem of the board, do not let the charges in the courts affect you. Let us do our bits so that 20 years from today, the children who read about this period will say that we, the coaches and the players, did our own bits. The rest was left on the administrators. And I'm sure that's the same thing that is happening with Man City. He might not come out to say it, but I'm sure every day he's telling the few players who are left, because injury has really ravaged them, that do not let whatever is happening with all of this affect match day.
Let me see if
it keeps affecting match
Let me see if Austin agrees with you. Austin, I don't know. We'll spare a little time for Ruben Amorim, but Pep Guardiola is a hot potato right now. Do you think that 115 charges and the scenario that's likely going to play out next season, I mean, it doesn't look like they will escape it. Do you think it's already playing on their minds? Do you think it's having an effect on the results we're seeing?
Psychologically, yeah, you want to expect it, but these guys are professionals, I remember when all of those conversations were brewing, Pep said it, that they would just focus on their business and let administrators, do their thing. And then the Ballon d'Or came. People said, oh, no, it shouldn't have been Rodri. That also brought some level of bad press to the club. And then the injury started coming. I think it was just about time. I was in Manchester because Tyson Fury is from Manchester. I went there to see and feel the pulse of the people ahead of that big fight with UC. And I got talking to some football fans, and they said the only team Manchester teams can beat are teams in Manchester, trying to say Manchester United could only beat Man City, and maybe Man City plays Manchester United at Old Trafford, they will also beat, Manchester United. It's not just Pep that is under some sort of pressure. Ruben Amorim is new to the club, and he's also going through some pressure. Let's listen to him.
Yeah, it's my decision. He wants to play. He's trying. Yeah. It's my decision, only my decision. Yeah.
It's not
Normal situation. When I feel that is the right moment, I will change something. Until then, I will continue to think what is the best for the team. I speak with him every day, not about the interview, about the performance. No, I don't think so. Not for me, not for the other players, because we are everybody is there every day during training, so they understand, and that is the key point. For the media and for the other people, I cannot control that, but I'm really focused, and they know I'm so clear in my message. Everybody in Carrington know what I'm talking about and what I want from Marcos and everybody else. So it's not a distraction for us. Maybe it's for the media, but that is not my concern. And some guys have a big responsibility here because they are here for a long time. So this is maybe one of the lowest moments in our club. So we have to face it and be strong in this moment. That's what I want for every player on the team.
question is, how strong can the strong be? I mean, because these are just not good times for Ruben Amorim, and we warned him, we said brace up because this is the Premier League. Now it's clear that what Manchester United is suffering, Kehinde Idris, is a character issue. We came from Cristiano Ronaldo, and there was a Jadon Sancho issue, and now we are here with the Rashford issue. So you must find a way to get out of it. They lost at home to Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth disgraced them the last time. Now they go to Wolves on Boxing Day. Kehinde Idris, what happens if they don't win at Wolves?
Some things are already happening. You forgot to mention Paul Pogba's issues, which I felt I was saying it to Yemi, off camera, that I think Manchester United at every period just keep finding a way to put the problem on somebody. At the point it was Mourinho, he came and, didn't follow the philosophy, a lot of stories. Then Paul Pogba, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you had the last man, Eric Ten Hag, Jadon Sancho, Eric Ten Hag. It's just always been, is this player, is this coach, is this person, and all of that. I think maybe Manchester United should sit down. Everybody attached to Manchester, the fan, the players, the coaches, the administrators, and understand that this is an awesome problem. As much as I feel it's a phase, clubs go through that phase. They want too much, and they should go through. But if you gather yourself and tell yourself it's an awesome problem, I think you'll begin to find, the solution. But the moment you think is on one person, problem persists.
If we spend an hour, we'll dissect United's problem and we'll still not be done. Exactly. But of course, we've crossed the finish line on the show today because, we're out of time. We're having fun. Time was flying away. Austin, I've crossed the line. That's how far we can go tonight.
Yeah, that's it. What is going on with Ruben Amorim is clear that tactics, it's not enough this day to be a good manager. Player management is very important. Before I go, the name I was trying to remember, Aqua United second scorer, please, Chijoke Alekwe. That's my boy. I shouldn't be messing up the surname. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
It's a wrap here in Lagos as well. Before I go, I want to thank Kehinde for his time on the show. And trust me, we'll continue with this conversation out of this studio. Yeah. All right. So enjoy your weekend. Let's say Merry Christmas to you. Compliments of the season once again. You see us again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.